Yeah, my goal ultimately is, can I retire at the end of the year? Am I in a position to be able to do that, and ride off into the sunset? So yeah, I would welcome the opportunity to explore this further because there are a lot of moving parts, and I've been fiddling with it for several years and haven't been able to come up with the right solution yet. So
What I can tell you, and this is not intended to be like sales material at all, is that whatever route you go, it's actually a manageable set of concerns because even though yes, they're tied together and like interconnected, these are pretty standard retirement planning items and they happen. Like we see them. It's kind of what I think I was saying to uh I think it was two responses ago. Like annuities in my practice are very infrequent because of the people we work with, but also just like um and there's not a lot of retirement planning around an annuity. Most people come after they've already got the annuity. But in your case, inherited IRAs mixed with pre-tax balances, that's a very standard kind of retirement planning exercise. It's just complex in that it needs like attention to detail. So hopefully that makes sense. But we can obviously chat offline and see if there's something to be done there. But I do think you have some opportunities, and I guess the things that you could sit and just consider on your own would be um, reevaluating your portfolio composition such that like, do you really need? How does this cash bucket fit into that? Like, is your allocate? Like, I'll give you an example. This is something practical you could take away. This was in the clip that I made on the other channel, but I'll repeat it because it's really useful. If someone has a 70-30 portfolio, let's say they have $2 million and it's 70% stock and 30% bonds, and then they have a cash bucket of $300,000, their portfolio is not a 70-30. Their portfolio is, instead of 2 million, it's 2.3 million. And that 3 million is very conservative and probably tilts their portfolio down by whatever it is, 15%. Does that make sense? So it's actually really like a 55-45 portfolio. Does that make sense?
oh, 100%. Yeah, I think in those terms for sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you could look at your own portfolio, say, how does this fit? And is it in alignment? And then we could, have its own discussion about whether that's more than is necessary in terms of conservativeness, because that's a psychological personal preference. It's not a formulaic thing. The other thing that's worth looking at is I probably would look at potentially, if I were exploring the case, I would want to run some scenarios where I take bigger withdrawals out of the inherited IRA, even though it might trigger IRMA.
Okay.
I'm not saying you should do that, but I think it's worth exploring.
Yeah. Well, and that's exactly what I'm getting at is I want to explore that. What would optimize? Is it IRMA and that's okay, we do that? Is it Roth conversion and I wait and do RMDs or push a couple of those years out? Though that's ultimately what I'm looking at. How do I model that with a number of different scenarios to optimize everything tax wise?
I'll tell you, I built a video that's going to come out on Wednesday that is a very similar to this. It's basically what I would call like the structure of it is a mounting scenarios where it's basically you take a baseline scenario and instead of going straight to the optimal scenario and putting the two scenarios side by side, what it is, you build a series of individual small changes and then you end up with like, let's say an accordion of 4 or 5 or 6 that, let's say the baseline has no optimizations. Then you run one test only, which is, let's say, withdrawing larger amounts from the pre-tax inherited IRA. And then you add on to that doing Roth conversions from 65 to 70. And then you add on, and basically what you do is you have this accordion where each next plan has it's like a, what do you call it? Factorial. It's like plan number 2 has 1 optimization. Plan number 3 has 2 optimizations. Plan number 4, and then you run them side by side. That would be the way I would look at it from a structural standpoint. That would be the best way to evaluate it. Does that make sense? Because then you can see the cost benefit against each scenario on each side of it. Hopefully that made sense. It's kind of technical.
Are you running that through something like Income Lab or
Yeah, you could do that in any software. That you could do that in a Monte Carlo or in. I would do that personally in Income Labs because that's the software that we use and it's the one I understand the most and it gives me outputs that I care about. Like ultimately what I care about, and this doesn't mean this has to be what you care about, Michael. What I care about is spending capacity and lifetime total spending. Unless you told me you had a legacy goal, in general, we're not like optimizing for end of life wealth. We're optimizing for success in meeting someone's lifetime spending goals and not running out of money. But that doesn't mean that means they could pass away with, moderate money, but not huge piles of money. And different people have different preferences. So I don't know yours. And I think until we would know those things, it would be hard to say exactly. But I hope we haven't deviated too much. Did that make sense?
It does. Yep. And I don't want to take any more of your time as well. You've been very gracious
Okay.
in the question. So I very much appreciate it. Gives me some things to think about and would welcome the opportunity to chat a little bit more.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Mike. Real quick, let me show you the exact 3-pillar comprehensive retirement roadmap that takes retirees from uncertainty to peace of mind that less than 1% of retirees actually have in place. Now, I built hundreds of these for retirees, and I can say with a high degree of confidence that these are the 3 pillars every retiree needs to have in place in order to have full confidence that they're not missing anything in their retirement plan. And I broke each of these down by the specific questions. You can see them here that each needs to be answered and the best way to answer them. Now, we've done this across pre-retirees, recent retirees, married couples, single retirees, $1 million portfolios, $10 million portfolios, all the above, and it works. And it's my gift to you today. It's absolutely free. It's in the first link in the description below this video. It's going to say free comprehensive retirement roadmap training. Just click the link, enter your info, and you'll get instant access all for free.